been a long time since I've been able to say this. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, in the blue, it is the Finnish phenom. It is Serral.
Easy for dance,
There we go. Done. I had to press my button.
I wondered why you wanted to introduce him. I knew something was happening.
I have that programmed into my machine for like 2 years because of PUBG.
Oh, it's always such a pleasure watching Serral play. Like, by the way, he is doing gas pool here.
Yeah.
Not hatch first, gas pool. Very unusual.
Indeed. Could quite easily take the economic route, but is opting to, you know, cover his bases a little bit more. I guess he's just a bit concerned as to how BratOK's going to be opening up in this game with the, of course, barracks at a normal time on the way. But what you make of it, Muslim?
I think it's a no respect build. I'm going to kill you kind of thing. I don't know how much he's played against BratOK on the ladder. BratOK actually going for a scout after the barracks has been made. I like that, kind of respecting the fact that Serral is so much an all-rounder.
Yeah.
Now, if he went for a hatch first, you'd be like, oh, damn, I just scouted and now I'm a little bit behind the norm. But the fact that he's scouting against what he's up against here, that's definitely going to keep him out of trouble for a little bit.
Reaper going to be moving across in a little bit's time, and those Zerglings are going to be on the way with the speed quite quickly, actually. So, I mean, even, you know, with the gas build, at least he'll have speed a little bit quicker than a normal hatch first, which means that it can at least deal with any Reapers that, you know, are poking about for a little bit longer than they may need to be. And gets in, sees this all going down, so BratOK's going to be a bit careful.
I'm so curious about what this extra gas is going to be used for.
Didn't even go.
Yeah, staying at home. So BratOK being kind of smart with this Reaper, because those two Lings did sneak out past the SCV. Like, it was very, very intricate by Serral how he did that. But yeah, BratOK's not going to take any economic damage, which is good for him. Very, very curious. Like, the whole opening, the whole way that this game is going, that Serral's doing this is very unusual. So he's got 100 gas. Okay, Overlord speed.
All right. Well, I mean, that'll keep his eyes on a lot of things if he needs to. That'll be able to get in quite nicely, positioning the Overlords near the edges just so he's able to spot things out. Armory on the way already. Ooh.
And BratOK has been doing this very, very, very safely. He's actually going to save his SVs with the bunker too, so nice move by him. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a Hellbat attack, and I think that's pretty cool by him. And so far, he hasn't taken any damage whatsoever. And going for Overlord speed against this, I don't know how this is actually going to work out for Serral. He lost a drone. He's washed up. He's washed up.
Get him out.
Oh my god. Okay. So he's going to scout this. He's going to scout. By the way, Armory went up well before the starport. I can't believe I didn't mention this. This is proper weird by BratOK.
Proper weird, mate. Oh, wow. Well, yeah, let's see what he's going to end up doing with it, because obviously this is going to be, you know, it's going to throw a spanner in the works here for Serral for sure. Again, he lost a drone. It's over already. With those Hellions going to be moving out eventually too. I guess, yeah.
I was not leaving you hanging there, James.
That's fine. You're racking your brains.
Yes, okay, it's a Thor. Of course, a Thor and medevac. How did I not see this? So he's... Okay, now it's a third CC going down, and Serral obviously wants to know what's going on. He must have been thinking this was going to be like some Hellbat attack. But now seeing this, he's probably like, okay, that Thor, or rather that factory, it's got to be making a Thor, right? But even if you are Serral seeing this, this is we've seen some banterous StarCraft 2 today, James.
Oh yeah, it's been wild, and I love it. I want to see some SCVs come with this Thor if he's going to go across the map with it as well. I want to see him repair. I want to see everything, all of it.
It's okay. So he's going for the big shot mode. So is this going to be? Okay, he's not going to hunt Overlords or anything. He is going for the bit of harass. So it can't be an all-in because he's actually got his third in production, right?
Double factory going down as well, starting things up. The Hellions are looking for an opening down towards that right-hand side and actually might find a little bit... not even going to go in just yet, and just morphing into Hellbats here. The Thor will join. Don't you talk to me or my sons ever again here with these little fellas. Oh, they're going to morph away and run away.
Yeah, and Serral's like, you know what? I'm going to try and grab your stuff. Hasn't taken any damage yet. And he's also got a really decent drone lead right now. Like, it's 55-43. But so far, I mean, BratOK's not dead. Like, he's not dead, but really weird special build by him. Very cool.
Not been able to find much opportunity with it, though. I guess, yes, it transitions nicely into mech, all things said, but there are plenty of builds that transition nicely into mech here for Terran. So what will this Thor find? Will the Thor find anything?
Like, this Thor with a medevac costs as much as a battle cruiser, right? But the battle cruiser is almost guaranteed drone kills, whereas this guy... oh my gosh, no way.
You almost guaranteed died then, jeez.
Yes. And, you know, Serral's been all over this scout-wise. This Overseer is actually going to be able to outrun this Viking quite a bit too. Yeah, this is just one of those games where I'm like, BratOK, I like your style, but I'm not sure it's good.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Right now, as you mentioned, there are other builds that could have had damage done for similar costs, if not the same. So we'll be pushing this away from the 4th base as he's trying to get that up and running with plenty of gases extra. I don't know. I think if you want to beat Serral in today's age, he's morphing 8 Dropper Lords.
Yes, that is exactly what I gasped at. 8 Dropper Lords here.
It's just going to kill him.
I think so. Like, and it's not as if, well, I mean, this may turn into a big all-in, but oh, these Hellions could get some decent damage done. I mean, okay, Serral's very fast to react here. Nice Evo chamber pop as well.
Yeah, that's picture perfect, really, just to deny them from easy access to those drones straight away. Roaches come back. I mean, BratOK sees all these roaches now, so he has to assume that a fight is coming, but I don't think he saw all the Dropper Lords, so he doesn't know it's going to be coming on the back of all of this. Or on top of it, actually. He could just drop on top.
Yeah, like, okay, so even if he did know that this was coming, what does he do in this position? He's like, you can't make turrets against it. You can't whip out, like, 10 Vikings all at once.
Here it comes. Okay, he sees the position.
Where's he go?
Oh, the Viking sees everything.
BratOK basically took his 3rd and 4th at the same time, by the way, which is kind of cool.
And he's going to drop on top of these siege tanks as well here, really negating him out. Distance that puts between them as well as the units here. That's a lot of roaches. The SCV's pulled off the line as well, not only to do combat, but also to try and repair, but it's not going to be enough. Siege tanks at the back are getting quite a bit done here, but there's going to be a corrosive pile onto double siege tanks. That brings them down there, and there is nothing left here for BratOK. 160 supply to the 67 of BratOK forces this base away, and that is a blast from the Finnish Phenom.
That was just annihilation. I actually think that was like one of the best fights that BratOK could hope for, that, you know, maybe 60 supply dropped on all his Hellbats.
Yeah.
But it absolutely wasn't enough. Like, this build from BratOK, it was just, I don't know what it was designed to work against, honestly. It was, maybe he was totally thrown off by the fact that Serral opened up gas pool like he did.
Oh, killed his overlord, but why on earth not? Actually, he lost his high ground vision there for a second now, but it's not going to really matter too much. This is overwhelming numbers here for Serral to try and push on against this, and that will be the GG. I guess BratOK was just looking for a little bit of a more cheeky build to start things off, but it was not to work out.
Is it cheeky, Kalaris, if it's just,
rubbish?
You said it. You said it.
Mate, I told you, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I haven't seen Thor drops for a while. And, you know, for a moment there, BratOK was making me think, like, why haven't I seen him for a while? And then I was like, yes, because Zerg's so damn good at defending those kind of things now.
Yeah.
Maybe you could sync it up with, like, a Hellbat attack with, like, a double medevac play and stuff. But, nah, I mean, that one... Serral's too good to lose to that sort of stuff. Like, maybe you need to bring out something a bit weird against him, but it can't be like, it can't be weird because it's just like, yeah, not that good.
Right. I mean, and that is no slight against a BratOK who is clearly, you know, a very good player, but when you're going up against Serral, if you want to try some of these more unconventional builds to try and maybe throw him off, Unfortunately, Serral's not going to be thrown off in a lot of these circumstances, so it's mostly on the build than anything here for BratOK. I mean, whatever BratOK is going to pick here is going to have a hard time against someone like Serral.
Yeah, it's just I just love it, man. Like Armory before Starport. This it was super unusual, super weird. I'm looking forward to see what he does this next game. I also think Serral. One thing that I love about watching Serral is he seemingly does all the right moves. Like when I'm watching him, you know, when you watch a lot of people, it can be you can find Twitch chat being like, "Oh my god, why doesn't he do this? Why doesn't he do that?" People are never like that with Serral because he actually is doing all the right moves, except for the really, really silly people that are questioning Serral. Because I mean, the 8-drop lords and stuff. For a second there, I was like, "Oh, this might not," and then I'm like, "Oh, of course it's Serral, man, it's Serral." But yeah, we're going on to the second game, which will be on Eternal Palace, as Rotterdam does say.
I'm gonna address that in a moment. Anyway, up to the top right hand corner in the blue, of course, it is Serral.
And spawning over in the bottom left side as the red Terran, it is BratOK.
You know, you keep throwing this at Rotterdam, but it was you, and I'm gonna say, I figured it out. I figured it out. Subconsciously, in your mind somewhere, you know that the Eternal Palace is a World of Warcraft raid. And you just didn't remember for all that time. And Rotterdam didn't know either, because Rotterdam has no clue about any other games other than StarCraft.
So what? We were casting a tournament together, me and Kevin, and I called it that one time, and he hung up on it. You know, like
I know he did. I was watching.
He didn't let it go. And that's the thing about Kevin. He doesn't let things go, you know? In fact, there was a stream the other day. It was like a Warcraft 3 history stream, and it tagged me in Rotterdam. And it was about, it brought up a clan war between my old clan and Rotti's old clan. And mind you, this is 14 years ago. Rotterdam still to this day talks about that one game that we fricking had, which actually I ended up watching a little bit. It wasn't like I remember at all. I remember being super damn far ahead, but I thought I was ahead the whole game. But it was only because, well, it was a big comeback anyway. We're into this second game here, and we do see a far more normal opening from Serral this game. So if you are a Zerg fan out there and you're looking for how to handle ZVT, this might be the game to look at.
Serral is a good study, that's for sure. And it's very interesting to note that when you are at the very top of a game, like any esport, in fact, you are the most watched, you are the most studied. Hell, this stream has the Serral effect, where you have an extra 2,000 people all of a sudden appear out of nowhere because Serral is playing. You are the most studied. And yet, in those moments, sometimes you then fall off because everybody is studying you. Everybody knows what's going on as this Reaper starts stacking this natural. But Serral hasn't had that happen. And that is something that is truly unique about someone like Serral. The fact that after being the most studied, after being the most highly prolific player at the time, he still keeps going. And people can't catch up in moments, apart from people like Raynor, of course, etc.
Yeah, what you say is totally true. And it's also super special in such a highly contested game like StarCraft, where there is RNG in this game. For example, you do a bad build against somebody with a good build, and it's like, oh, you know, a lot of players will be like, oh, he's lost for sure. But Serral seemingly doesn't, regardless. And he's so damn good at this game, no matter what situation you put him in. Yeah, people have beaten him in the past, and people will continue to do so in the future, but the fact that he stayed as consistent as he has done, because it's so much easier getting to the top than it is staying at the top, but he does it.
And I have to also say that, as you say, in a game like StarCraft, guys, I've covered a lot of esports now. This is still the best esport on the planet. This is still the best to watch. This is still the best to play. And watching as people like Serral have risen up to the ranks and stayed at the top, and then people are trying to catch up with him, etc., and things like that, has just been an absolute treat. So consider yourself lucky, guys, because it's the best.
Certainly is. Serral did go for the Overlord speed again. I think that's always a good option when, like, let's not beat around the bush here. I do think Serral is a better player than BratOK. So when you are a better player and you play safe, i.e. getting overlord speed and stuff, and just make sure you know what you're up against, I like those kind of moves by him. So he does see he's up against 3cc here. He also sees the double gas going down at the natural, so that usually indicates that you are against mech. By the way, BratOK is very famously a mech kind of only guy. I very rarely see him play bio, actually.
Yeah, he's always like that. I mean, there were moments back in the day that he would play some bio, but that was like a long time ago. I'm thinking like 2014 here, which is literally an eternity ago when it comes to esports. But yeah, mech. I like it.
It's also cool because like mech has I feel that bio is entirely kind of like sussed out almost within regards to what is the optimal way to go about it. Whereas mech, we've seen a lot of people. In fact, one game that always resonates with me is Innovation against Reyna. It was on Golden Wall, and Innovation looked pretty much as good as dead. And then he did this massive switch to Cyclone Widowmine, which it really caught Reyna totally off guard, and he ended up winning in a situation I really don't think he should have won. So I do think there's still a lot of ways to play mech that does make the game very uncomfortable for your opponent.
And mech is that, yeah, as you say, the composition that makes your opponent uncomfortable, but it also forces your opponent to have to really take very decisive engagements if you're going to actually deal with it. As we have a little bit of an auto turret doing some harassment here for the Raven. I like Ravens as a mix-in, especially for a little harassment to begin with, and then maybe some later use afterwards.
So what was actually building there? Because he cancelled it and then started making it an infestation pit. But yeah, something happened there. So obviously seeing the Raven changed his mind a little bit. Oh, double 4 this time. He's like, you know what? 4-drop Benny, it does work. I just need more of them.
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, yes, if we're going down the mech path, more Thors sounds like a great idea. I agree. The Overseer's going to scout on him and confirm basically Serral's suspicions at this point. Blue Flame being researched as well, but Nidus Worm is going down, so Serral is going to try and nip this in the butt really quick.
So, definitely interesting. What's the plan to go into Swarm Host with this? I mean, that's kind of like an old school approach to dealing with mech, but it's still damn good. And yeah, immediately fires up quite a few Swarm Hosts. So I wonder if seeing the Raven just made him think that there's not going to be Battle Cruiser, so he's not going to be able to deal with this or anything like that, because BCs are very good against Swarm Hosts in general.
We'll try and kill off some of these Hellions at the front. Not really doing too much with those. Where are these Thors going, though? Did he... No, I guess they didn't cross the path of vision for a moment, but there are Overlords just positioning to try and catch it. Oh, Swarm Hosts, as you say. Oh, it's just dawned on me. Yeah. It's brutal.
They aren't like they used to be, though, James. It isn't.
No, I know.
30-second cooldowns and stuff with wave after wave. But these Thors, you know... It was. You just needed more of them. Double, in fact. But, okay. Locusts are out. Elites are here to greet them, though. They could definitely make it a little bit more difficult. Queen's kind of being a bit aggressive, too.
But Nidus Worm in the main base this time, so just trying to throw this here, there, and everywhere. We have 9 roaches coming out, too. Throwing out a few more little locusts. Actually, those locusts could deal with those Hellions quite quickly.
Oh my god, the tanks just kind of like, they pointed at the Nidus and they were like, yeah, we're going to march away. Oh, they actually went far away to siege up.
I don't mind that. If he knew that the Swarm Hosts were coming out, he must have also known that they were mostly on cooldown, so he could have just got a few free volleys on them.
I was mainly like, oh my gosh, if like 50 supply of roaches just pop out now, though, those tanks are going to be so sad about letting it up.
True. The Roaches and Ravagers are in the middle of the map currently. Don't you dare get that corrosive bile off. Don't. No. Oh,
that was definitely one of those moments where it's like, I'm looking at you. Do you know that I'm looking at you? Okay.
Bring down some of these supply depots at the front then. And another Thor will pick up and start moving on away. But these locusts are being a nuisance over everywhere. As we have another Nidus Worm at the front here, ready to launch and pounce with this army.
We talked about this map being very good defensively earlier in the cast, but Serral is showing that you can also still kill a person if you're really damn good at this game. And Serral just tearing BratOK a new one here, killing him from the inside, the outside. The Swarm hosts are marching onto the third base as well while dealing with the natural. Oof.
And Locust here. Yeah, nicely done. Bigger Cloud Kingdom will probably go to Serral once again here for Eternal Empire. We've got some siege tanks dying off in the mineral lines. That's going to be the G.